Really, really important to understand. There are certain individuals right now in London that are just doing things at a greater pace. They are ahead of the game. This individual is well ahead of the game on video and audio. I'm super excited. Round of applause, Tom Buston from SalesLoft. You're up, mate.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Hello. Are you all right? Good. My name's Tom. I'm an SDR from SalesLoft, and I'm going to be talking about how to stand out as an SDR. Now, can I just check? Are there any SDRs or BDRs in the room over the age of 30? Just me, just me. I thought that might be. I thought that might be the case. I was a late bloomer. I had my early 20s in retail, and my colleague Jack likes to remind me that the new SDR who's joining us, there's going to be a decade between you two. That's what he always tells me. There's going to be a decade between you and the other SDR. So I'm a bit older than the rest of you, but that's okay, right? So I'm going to be talking about three things today. I'm going to be talking about how to use personalization. I'm going to be talking about how to be different. And I'm also going to be talking about how to build a personal brand. So for me, personalization, it's all about doing proper research. So the best personalization, I think, comes from learning as much as you can about the person that you're reaching out to, about the company and the industry. And if you do all of those three things, your prospects will go, wow, this person's actually spent some time and they've reached out for a reason, right? But there's loads of different ways you can use personalization. Like, you know, Jack uses his knowledge of football. He goes onto their LinkedIn and he sees what team they support. I don't know anything about football. I can't do that. I've got a good knowledge of obscure northern towns. So if someone's visited Huddersfield, I can do 20 minutes. I do 20 minutes on Huddersfield, no problem. So what I would say is, you use what knowledge that you've got in your kind of personalization. Let me tell you this story. I wasn't gonna tell you this, but I used to work with this Geordie in Newcastle, and it was when I was selling gas and electricity, worst job I've ever had. He would Google the business that he was ringing, and he would find out the pub down the road, and he would pretend he's been to that pub. So he'd say, do you know the Black Bull? The Black Bull pub? And the prospect goes, yeah, we drink there all the time. And he'd say, you're joking. No way, man. I was there 2 weeks ago, And don't ever do that. Don't lie to people. But that always stuck with me, right? Because it was like a next level personalization. So second, I've written relate to their pain. So if you can relate to somebody's pain, really understand like what they're going through, and you can show that you feel that pain, your prospect's going to be like, this guy understand, right? He gets it. You can talk about how you've lived through what they have lived through, and you can connect with them. So to summarize on that point, surprise someone by showing them that you've put effort into the prospecting process, and secondly, try and relate to their pains. Right then, so be different. Now, we talked about the use of video. Every single prospect that I speak to gets a personalised video from me. It's less than 60 seconds because people don't want to listen to me ramble on. And they'll be able to see that in an email. It's a personalised video, and it kind of puts a name to a face, right? Now, was it bad when I first started doing prospecting videos? Yes, it was really bad, and I'd watch it back and I'd be like, I do not want to send that. I really don't. But it does get easier. It's like anything, right? We just persisted with those videos, and let me tell you, it gets a lot easier when you start booking meetings and you've not picked up the phone. That's a great thing. If you're booking meetings off videos, it makes your job a lot easier. If you want to talk to me afterwards about kind of video prospecting tools, then do come and have a chat. So I've also written give them a good experience. So we recently signed a client in Germany, and I spoke to the guy once for 15 minutes. We had a great conversation, and we built up this great relationship. And when the deal got signed, he gave me a shout out. He was like, thanks to Tom, and he actually got me to record a video for the SDR team for their sales kickoff. And the reason that we've got this great relationship, even though we spoke once, is because I gave him a good experience. I did my research, and I showed that I cared about him and his organisation, and we still keep in touch now, and he's a great guy. So it shows that importance of the first touch point in regards to being different. So to sum up, be different. Have I said be different enough? Be different and stand out by using video and going above and beyond. And last but not least, my favourite, building a personal brand. So I like to do videos on LinkedIn. It's one of my favourite things. I really enjoy making those videos. And I've recently started doing a weekly video, and I do them about sales. The people I sell to are salespeople, right? So I thought it would make sense to do videos about sales. 2 things I've written. If you want to start thinking about doing LinkedIn video, I'd think, who do you want your brand, not who, what do you want your brand to be, and what's the persona of your target audience? So when I started doing videos, I do a video about SalesLoft, and I talk about a feature, and no one's got time for that on the timeline. People don't want to, here's another salesman trying to sell. So what I started doing was, let's do some videos about prospect pains. So I think about kind of the persona I'm selling to in sales, what might their pains be, and they started to get some views and some traction. So I did a video on sales acronyms, because I was in a meeting and people were talking about SDRs and BDRs and ARRs and CRMs. I remember when I started in sales and I was like, what the hell is everybody talking about? What are these acronyms? So I thought, well, that might be a good thing to do a video about. And then I did a video about the guy that comes into the meeting room when you're on a sales call and he goes, have you got this room booked? And you're on the call. Yes, mate. Yes, sorry about this. Is it? I think we've got this booked. No, mate. No, you don't. So I'd do videos about that kind of stuff, and those were the ones that were resonating with my prospects. Now, I'm a bit silly and a bit daft, so I do silly and daft videos. Don't feel like you have to go and do comedy, daft videos online. Play to your strengths. So, like, if you're really knowledgeable in an area, make videos on that and show your prospects, this person really knows what they're talking about. So, yeah, I've summarised that point. Stick to what you know, play to your strength, and worst comes to worst, Google the nearest pub, and, you never know. You're joking. No, don't do that. Don't do that.